Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Mel Woodward Cup. My name is John Ennis, and I'm your MC for this evening. Tonight, we'd like to start by acknowledging that the lands on which Memorial University's campuses are situated are in traditional territories of diverse Indigenous groups, and we acknowledge with respect the histories and the cultures of Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of this province. We encourage everyone to reflect on the lands where you are located and the Indigenous peoples for whom these lands are traditional territory as we move forward with respects towards reconciliation. As tonight's competition unfolds, I encourage you all to take to social media channels and to share updates with the hashtag 2022 MWC. I'd also like to mention that if you would like to use closed captioning, you can enable it through Hopin by clicking on the CC at the bottom of your screen. And before we introduce you to our fantastic finalists, I'd like to first welcome some of our special guests tonight. We first extend a warm welcome to the family of the late Dr. Mel Woodward. It was a donation from the Woodward family that made this competition possible, and we're grateful for your support every single year. And I'll tell you all a bit more about this in just a little bit. And we also welcome our supporters who have provided funding and in-kind donations, leadership and guidance for the Mel Woodward Cup and the Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. And finally, I'd like to recognize a few special folks who have been key supporters of the MCE and Mel Woodward Cup. The Honorable Seamus O'Regan, Minister of Labour and Member of Parliament for St. John's South, Mount Pearl. Karen Skinner, the Vice President of Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, Newfoundland and Labrador. Honorable Tom Osborne, Minister of Education Government with the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador. Honorable Andrew Parsons, Minister of Industry, Energy and Technology. Dr. Neil Bowes, Vice President Research for Memorial University. Dr. Isabel Dostler, the Dean of the Faculty of Business Administration. Dr. Greg Naderer, Dean for the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science, and Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship's Advisory Board and Funders. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'd also like to give a big welcome to any students who are watching tonight. We're really excited to have you here, and we hope that this inspires many of you to apply for the Mel Woodward Cup in years to come. And for those of you who don't know me, I graduated Memorial's Civil Engineering program in 2019. And during my time at Memorial, I was involved with many of MCE's programs, including the Mel Woodward Cup, their student ambassador team, and their entrepreneurial work term program. And it was 6 years ago that I was also a nervous member of one of the finalist teams for the very first Mel Woodward Cup, so I can relate to how all of our finalists are feeling. And I want to personally wish you all good luck tonight. Although my team didn't win that year, we continued to work together to develop our company, which is called Bluebrick, through MCE's entrepreneurial work terms. And it's through the connections that I developed at MCE that I was able to join a California-based startup led by a fellow Newfoundlander after graduation. And today I'm applying the lessons I learned from my experiences at MCE, as well as the connections I made to developing Ericsson's X Lab, which is an internal improvement lab that encourages employees to experiment and validate their ideas using many of the same tools and methodologies that are being promoted by MCE. So MCE has been an integral part in my career to date, and to anyone who's watching and considering getting involved with MCE, I strongly encourage you to do so. And now we're here today because of the generous donation from one of Newfoundland and Labrador's prominent entrepreneurial families. Dr. Mel Woodward was one of the province's most successful entrepreneurs. He built companies that are major players in oil and gas, aircraft refueling, and automotive and marine transportation. As part of his legacy, Dr. Woodward's family wanted to inspire others to follow their dreams through entrepreneurship. And in 2016, the Woodwards approached the Faculty of Business Administration to explore how they could motivate young people to engage in entrepreneurship. And at the same time, Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship was looking for ways to encourage more students to think like entrepreneurs and to help them access startup funding to launch their own businesses. And the business faculty brought the Woodwards and MCE together, and 6 years later, the Mel Woodward Cup continues to showcase Memorial's bright and determined entrepreneurial students. And it's helped launch startups like Colab Software, Breathe Suite, PolyUnity, and Nucleic Biologics, and many more. And so this year, we're excited to welcome a new supporter, the Fry Family Foundation. And with their help, MCE has created 2 new awards to increase the diversity of this competition's participants and to encourage those who don't make it to the finals to keep working on their startups and come back in the future. And so later this evening, we'll be announcing the very first recipients of the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for an early stage idea and the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for women and non-binary leadership. So this is an exciting new initiative, and we thank the Fry Family Foundation for being a part of the Mel Woodward Cup. And this competition is also supported by the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, and we greatly appreciate their continued support of student entrepreneurs. So tonight we have our 5 finalist teams who will be pitching their startups for some pretty big funds. The winning team will go home tonight with $25,000, and the runner-up will get $15,000. And in addition to this, 9 local organizations are providing in-kind prizes to the top 2 teams. From Genesis, we have that teams with technology-based business ideas will have free registration to the Evolution program. Plus, they'll also get access to the Mara's Market Intelligence reporting, which is valued at $50,000. And from the Gardner Center, a complimentary 1 or 2 day professional development seminar valued at up to $1,000. From Perfect Day, there's 15 hours of branding and design services. From St. John's Office of McGinnis Cooper, an incorporation package. From KPMG, up to 5 hours of pro bono tax services over the next 12 months. From Altitude Media, a 1-minute brand video. From TechNL, 1 free annual membership and a presentation at a future TechNL event. From Hey Orca, we have a 1-year subscription to its social media scheduling tool. And finally, from Saltwater Bath Bombs, a well-being package to support the mental health of our entrepreneurs. So a big thank you to all of the in-kind sponsors for providing prizes that will help today's teams grow their startups. And this year, 43 teams applied for the Mel Woodward Cup, which is the most applications we've received to date. A panel of 5 judges reviewed all the applications and narrowed the competition down to 10 semifinalists, who then did in-person interviews with the judges, and from there, 5 finalist teams were selected. And so we also want to thank our preliminary judges, Jeremy Andrews, Sabrine Sumar, Holly Hill, and Isaac Ajuan. And we appreciate the time and the effort that you put into selecting tonight's finalists. A big thank you as well to all of the applicants for being engaged and working so hard. We hope that you continue to grow your startups, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the coming years. And tonight, we'll learn about each team through a 4-minute pitch, a pre-recorded video, and which the judges have already seen, and then each team will have 8 minutes to answer live questions from our panel of judges. Once we've heard from all 5 finalists, the judges will have 30 minutes to make their decision. And while the judges are deliberating, we'll invite all of the viewers at home to visit the virtual expo booths in Hopin to explore the startups of some of our student entrepreneurs. And you can also go to a virtual networking event to connect with other attendees and finalists via video chat. And we'll provide more details about how to do that just before the break. After the break, the winning teams will be announced at 7:30 p.m. Newfoundland time, so make sure you're back here in the main stage for that exciting moment. And the Mel Woodward Cup aims to provide the top teams with the investment that they need to develop into successful startups. But as these students work to grow their ventures, it's also fostering the capacity to forge career paths right here in Newfoundland and Labrador as our future business and community leaders. So I thank you all for joining us and for supporting the future businesses and entrepreneurship in Newfoundland and Labrador. And now that we've set the stage, it's time to get started with the program. First, MCE is privileged to enjoy support from Memorial and the provincial and federal governments. And I'm pleased to now share with you video messages from Dr. Vian Timmons, the Honorable Seamus O'Regan, the Honorable Tom Osborne, and Peter Woodward.
On behalf of Memorial University, I'm so pleased to welcome participants and viewers to the finals of the 2022 Mel Woodward Cup. I'm so excited to participate again this year to learn about the innovative businesses that our students are developing. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Woodward family for their generous donation that makes this competition possible and for their ongoing support of our students. I'd also like to thank the Fry Family Foundation for their support to Memorial and the Mel Woodward Cup. This year, the Fry Family Foundation has made a donation for 2 new awards at this Cup to help us achieve equity and diversity goals. This is the 6th year for the competition, and it continues to grow thanks to the team at the MCE as well as government and business supporters. This year, the Cup received the most applicants to date. Also impressive is that this year, the number of applicants from women have more than doubled. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it has reinforced the need for people who find solutions to problems, can think positively and creatively, and are motivated to make a difference in the world. The Mel Woodward Cup demonstrates that we have students at Memorial who are stepping up to fill that need. I have no doubt they will continue to make a positive impact on our world into the future. To the students who are pitching your ideas this evening, we're grateful to you and your desire to make the world a better place through innovation and problem solving. And to everyone watching and participating virtually, thank you for your continued support for our students at Memorial University and beyond. Good luck to all of this year's finalists.
Congratulations on making it to the 6th annual Mel Woodward Cup Finals. My name is Seamus O'Regan. I'm a former baggage and cargo handler for Woodward Aviation Services at YYR, Goose Bay International Airport. Mel and Sybil were my neighbors growing up in Goose Bay. And Mel, he led by example. He demonstrated the entrepreneurial qualities of tenacity and the ability to jump on every opportunity that came before him. And whether you grew up in Labrador like me or anywhere on the island, you know Newfoundlanders and Labradorians have that entrepreneurial spirit. We've seen it in the likes of Lewis Eyre, Harry Steele, Zeta Cobb, Verafin. Now it's your turn. Go ahead, innovate, create new opportunities, new solutions, create new jobs and prosperity for our province, just like so many others did proudly before you, like Mel. Best of luck.
Memorial University's Entrepreneur Centre is rated as one of the top 5 globally for their goal of allowing students to bring their big ideas and turn them into big opportunities. The 6th annual Mel Woodward Cup is also a great opportunity for those students to showcase their business development journey and to take their ideas and turn them into real businesses. You are the employers for Newfoundland and Labrador's future. So congratulations for entering this competition. Good luck, and I hope you have great success. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to give some opening remarks from the Woodward family, Mel Woodward's family that sponsored this event. Welcome contestants, judges, and distinguished faculty and the audience. It's a real pleasure to be here. This is a highlight of my year when we hold this event. My dad, if he was here today, would relish in the fact that he would give you a speech about how great it is to work for yourself and not to work for somebody else, and how great it is that you can determine your own rewards and determined by your intellect and your effort. And this has become quite an event for our family, and I'm very pleased with the success and very thankful to the School of Business and Memorial for continuing to host the event. And I wish you all the best of luck. As I said, my dad would be truly happy to see you all putting your entrepreneurial best out there and hoping that your ideas will succeed and you will have tremendous financial success as well as rewarding success for yourselves. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for your ongoing support of entrepreneurship at Memorial. Dr. Mel Woodward dreamed big, and we'd like to give everyone a chance to learn about his journey, the entrepreneur he was, and the impact he left behind. So please enjoy this special mini documentary we've created in his honor.
Mel was a lovely person, and I really had a good friend.
It was a joy to be with him, and he was always learning. He never ceased learning.
If there was an obstacle in the way, he would try to go around it, over it, or if necessary, through it to get the job done.
We still call that, the Mel Woodward way.
Our next speaker, from the business point of view, Mr. Mel Woodward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
His determination was driven by partially by his his upbringing. He was born in 1933. The truck system that existed in Newfoundland at the time, where you would be given credit at the merchant store, and as you delivered your fish during the year, you would deplete the amount of money that you owed to the merchant, was something that really drove him. That's why he was driven to be the entrepreneur that he was. He really didn't want to work for somebody else. He wanted to work for himself. And that was the theme of his most of his career. Why work for somebody else when it's so much more rewarding to work for yourself?
He had a vision of growing from one truck to what later became, as we know, the Woodward Group of companies. And a lot of it was related to his perseverance, but also his wife Sybil was very important in this here.
One of the Collingwood family was here at the time. They were operating a car dealership type thing, and they had an oil truck for sale. So I guess one day my dad went home and he said, Sybil, if only I had $300, I could buy that oil truck, and I'd start start my own business. And she said, do you really want to do that? And he said, oh, that would be my dream. So she went into her closet. It was in the summer at the time, and her Parker was hung in the closet, and she reached into the pocket of the closet and she pulled out $300. And he said, where in the world did you get $300? She says, I've been skimping on the groceries and putting a little bit away. So that was how they started the oil business.
He had this keen ability, I guess, to see opportunities and growth or expansion before anyone else did. And he was able to zone in and focus on those opportunities to make his Woodward empire, I guess, of the group of companies. He always used to say, well, if a company on the mainland can do it, why not a Newfoundland Labradorian company? Why not Mel Woodward?
He had a notion of reclaiming Newfoundland's position in supplying or resupplying the Arctic. He was proud of what he did, and what he'd done, I think, more than anything else, was revolutionized, made much better life for a lot of people who live in our province.
Not only did he expand his business, but he kept his business in Happy Valley. And as we know, today, that business employs 700 or 800 people all over the province.
One of the things that we used to do together would be to sign payroll. And, it used to take us hours sometimes to go through them. Not because, he was looking at, their rates of pay or how much overtime or sick leave. He looked at the names, he looked at the addresses where they all lived, and, all these things. And he usually had a story on every single person.
I think he would be very, very delighted to know that there's a cup at Memorial called the Mel Woodward Cup.
If he was alive today, he would be front and center at all these presentations. He would be in the front row. And not only that, he would want to talk with them afterwards. He would want to, hear their energy and their vision.
Mel would be very, very proud. The people that are able to be supported by the cup, they would be able to be on a journey in life that they would have a chance to do well financially, and also be able to make a contribution within the community and in the world that we live in now.
You know, I think he'd be very proud about the fact that, you know, these young students that are coming out are chasing their dreams, and they're going to work for themselves and following the true entrepreneur way of life.
Anytime that anyone wants to be inspired by going into business, give me a call. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you how to do it. And if you want to, I'll probably go and show you how it can be done. But there's opportunities there out there, and there's many of them. I enjoyed my spiel. Now, maybe not a lot of substance. Think about it. It's worth it. Thank you.
What a great video. It's amazing what Dr. Woodward did with the money from an old winter coat. But Dr. Woodward was such an inspiring person, and thank you to everyone who participated in the video and shared your memories. It really helps connect this competition to the impact that one person can have on their community and on the province. So now let's take some time to meet our judges. And first up is the chair of our judging panel, Brett Vokey. Brett, what is your current role, and what are you excited about hearing today?
Yeah, thanks, John. My current role is founder and CEO here at Breeze Suite. We are a digital health company innovating in the respiratory space, so those with asthma and COPD. What I'm most excited for, honestly, just so many amazing ideas and amazing companies that are continuing to come out of MCE, and I think this event is very exciting every year to see just the future of Newfoundland and Labrador as a whole. So it's really excited for the whole event.
Great. Next up is Gina Picour. Gina, what is your current role, and what are you excited about hearing tonight?
Hi, I'm Gina Picour, and I'm the CEO of Genoa Design International. And Genoa is a technology company that works in the shipbuilding sector in North America. I'm super excited about tonight's event, and I think the thing that has really drawn me to here is the diversity of ideas. As I look through the portfolio of companies that we're going to hear from tonight, there's a really wide range of ideas coming forward, and that's so exciting to see happening and growing here from the seed of an idea right here in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Great. Next is Jared Downing. Jared, what is your current role, and what are you excited about hearing?
Hey, thanks for having me. My name is Jared. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Game Bites. We are a social gaming platform for playing iMessage games and meeting new people to play games with. I'm really excited today just to learn more about what problems the world is facing and how you guys are tackling and approaching those problems. I'm a young founder myself. My startup's only 2-3 years old, and I'm just excited to just meet more like-minded people and learn more about the space. Thank you.
Leanne Murray is our next judge. Leanne, tell us about your current position and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, good afternoon. Leanne Murray, Chief Information Officer for Global Wealth and Asset Management at Manulife. I think what I'm most interested in is, I've seen the pitches. It's all about the fresh thinking, the unique perspectives. But most important is the art of possible. And, all the teams are making that happen here today. So I'm very grateful to be here and very excited to be part of this event. Thank you.
And finally, Deidre Eyre. Deidre, what is your current position and what are you excited about?
Hi, I'm Deirdre Eyre, and more commonly known as Beep by most people. I'm the head of Canadian operations for Other Ocean Group Canada. We're a video game development company here in St. John's, and we've also got locations in Charlottetown, soon to be Fredericton, and remote workers across the country and into the U.S. I think for me, I get inspired by the energy of young people. So I'm super excited by this. I've really enjoyed the material that I've already reviewed, and I think too, at very important time in our global history, but particularly in the economic history of Newfoundland and Labrador. We really need this, and we need this energy, and we need good ideas, and we all need to support the young people that want to be here and want to be successful here. And so to me, this is a particularly important time. And yeah, I think diversifying our economy is something that we all know is important. We've talked about it for a long time, but the gig is kind of up. We really need to do it now. So I think that's what I'm most excited about tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So thank you, everybody. We greatly appreciate you being here and sharing your time and your insights with our teams. And now it's time for the most important part of the night, the competition. So first, we'll hear each team's pitch, and then they'll have 8 minutes to answer the questions from the judges. So as a reminder to the teams and the judges, I will hold up a warning sign, 1 minute, when you have 1 minute left in the Q&A. So please watch out for that. And our first team is Unbarred Fitness. Take it away.
Over the past 2 years, we have watched the global fitness industry change significantly, just as we and many fitness professionals predicted. With the closure and reduced capacity of gyms, many have been left to work out at home. As soon as the pandemic hit, the shelves of the fitness sections at retail stores were ravaged. I thought to myself, how many different fitness tools do people actually need? How much are they spending on them, and where are they keeping them? I was intrigued and noticed a new opportunity to introduce new fitness tools to the market. After 2 years of late nights, early meetings, countless design changes, Unbarred Fitness now introduces the Unbarred Gem. This patent-pending multi-purpose fitness tool helps users build muscle, improves balance and stability, massage sore and tight muscles, and prevent and rehabilitate joint injuries. This revolutionary product allows users to perform over 100 different exercises, targeting multiple muscle groups at various intensity levels to accommodate individuals no matter where they are in their fitness journey. It's lightweight, it's portable, it's durable, it's a game changer. In order to make this product reality, I needed an A1 team. And here we are. I'm Idiamin McKinney, the CEO and co-founder of Unbarred Fitness. I've completed multiple entrepreneurship internships with MCE and a cohort program with the Genesis Center. Our A1 superstar is Ebetine Bullard, who is a graduate of Memorial's Naval Engineering program. She has valuable professional experience as a designer and manufacturing engineer, and is certified in multiple CAD softwares. Our next All-Star team member is Joshua Neely, who is a graduate of the University of the Bahamas Business Management program. He is our financial advisor and has vast entrepreneurial knowledge and experience. We have consulted with various fitness trainers, physiotherapists, and kinesiologists who have solidified the fact that our product is unique and more effective than many of the existing competitors who only focus on potentially 2 aspects of fitness. Our Unbarred Gems focuses on 4. After we successfully win the Mel Woodward Cup, we will undergo 2 to 3 months of product development to explore and improve the manufacturing process and product effectiveness, and to get our product professionally tested and certified according to sports equipment safety regulations. The Unbarred Gems will initially be made in the house using resin 3D printing technology, and is currently estimated to cost roughly $30 to manufacture. We may seek to expand or outsource our product manufacturing to meet the demands of our growing market. The portable fitness equipment market in the US is forecasted to be $464 million by 2025, and in Canada is forecasted to grow to $74 million. We plan to tap into that market by hosting pop-up demonstrations and shows, utilizing brand ambassadors, and execute social media ads with the help of expert marketers. With our innovative product, carefully crafted sales and marketing program, and well-rounded team, we look forward to walking into stores next year and seeing the Unbarred Gems sold out on those shelves. Thank you.
Okay, John, I guess we can just jump in.
Yep, go for it.
Cool. So great presentation. First of all, the exercises that whoever was doing in that video looked incredibly difficult. But can you just explain a little bit more about how the product actually works and the technology behind it?
Sure thing. So essentially, there is a ball at the bottom of the product that allows users to roll around on different surfaces pretty smoothly, as well as we know people work out at home, they have hardwood floors versus or carpet floors, so the ball can actually come out and people can slide on with just the cap itself and just slide around and do different exercises with it. But also, people who do physiotherapy know that a ball at this size is really good for deep tissue massage. So it helps them to massage some muscles after intense workouts. And the strap is pretty good for allowing people to be protected and for use of comfort as well.
Go ahead, Deirdre.
How heavy is it? What is the weight of the ball and the housing?
Combined, I'd say roughly about 4 pounds.
Okay, and I have another question. Do you want me to wait, Brett?
No, go ahead.
You mentioned influencers. So I'm wondering what's your strategy in connecting with these influencers and engaging them? Coming from the video game world, I know that's a really important aspect. So I'm interested in how you plan to do that, your strategy.
Sure thing. So one of our major strategies, well, this is the age of TikTok. We have seen many fitness influencers, fitness enthusiasts who create these challenges on TikTok using push-up challenges and so forth. Our product is amazing in that it can do so much different exercises and they can be really challenging and really fun. So these fitness influencers would be perfect for creating these trend of fitness challenges that people do. And for us, our strategy is not targeting the high influencers, but people who are being trained, who are looking to grow, who are looking to be different and start new trends. So that's our strategy for that.
At the end, and then Jared.
Yeah, so one question I have is when you think about how competitive the marketplace is, and now that we're moving away from, being at home and potentially going back into different, gyms, et cetera, how are you rethinking your strategy? I know you've talked about influencers, but how are you going to market, and what is the objective, and to which group are you going to be marketing to?
I can add a lot as well. So initially, we started because of COVID, and we know that people were working out at home. However, and I've spoken to many fitness professionals, they know that people are going to continue working from home. There's still going to be this hybrid versus just how people are working hybrid from home. They're going to be working hybrid from home, working out hybrid. So we're looking forward to that. But also our product is diverse in a way that we are able to target high performance athletes as well who would understand the value of the product.
Thank you.
Jared, you go ahead.
Yes. So what are the top things people want from a product like this? Like if your startup succeeds, what is the next product you would create in your line?
That's a good question. I don't think we want to disclose the type of things that we're looking to do just yet, but we do have some ideas, and we are actually looking towards a Gem 2.0.
Dina, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, apologies for the background noise. I'm told that there's a lot of static in the background, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm wondering about your manufacturing plan, your long-term plan. I think you're doing some 3D printing, but what happens when all the orders start rushing in? What are you going to do then?
Yeah, so initially the plan is to manufacture in-house, get a few 3D printers, but as demand grows, we have the options of one, licensing out the product, so allowing another company to deal with that for us. We also have the option of outsourcing. So one of the options that we've considered was injection molding. Anyone that's familiar with it knows it, it takes a lot of capital to get started. So we haven't, fully gone down that route yet. The other option that we have is to essentially set up a facility. So get larger printers that can meet the demand, hire more people to deal with that.
Deirdre, I think you had a question there.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear something up, and maybe I just misunderstood something here. So in the video, you mentioned that you're expecting your manufacturing costs to be about $30 per unit. But then I thought I read that your retail price was somewhere around the same price point. So I wonder if you could speak to that, please.
So I'm not sure if the retail price said that, but for now, we expect the manufacturing costs in-house to be approximately $30 per unit. We expect the retail cost to be somewhere between $60 to $100 per unit. We haven't really, nailed that down 100%. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. I may have misread too. Thanks.
Kind of just an overall question of, this is a new product. This isn't, the same as a Bosu ball that people, maybe are familiar with. How are people going to know what types of exercises to actually do with the product?
Right. So essentially, we're planning on creating a YouTube channel where we can demonstrate all the different exercises. So you can easily refer to that. But also, we are planning on building a community around our website so that people can continuously come and update and share the new workouts that they find with our product, as well as learn about the different workouts that other people have posted about the workouts. So essentially, it's a community of learning about the different workouts that you can do with it.
Thanks. Jared, you had your hand up. I'm not sure if you still had a question or no. Okay, I'll go to Gina then.
Yeah, just following on that last bit and the online community. I did wonder about the tech. I kept expecting to read that there was a technology component of the product, and so that that would be sharing data, and considering trends that I guess are out there with fitness equipment, that's often a component. I'm wondering what you thought about that. Have you considered that as a future feature, or is that not part of it at this point?
Debbie, do you want to answer that? Or I can take it.
I'm sorry. So the question was.
It's around a technology component in the product. So something that would be taking data, sharing data, building an online community through that flow of automatic information.
Okay, yeah, that's not something I would say we've fully considered. As Ray mentioned, we are considering a GEM 2.0 that we don't want to go too much into details right now, but that's definitely something that's on the table for that. But as of right now with the GEM, no, there's nothing automatic, but people will be able to share whatever they want on, the online forums, the communities, the social media.
Jared, I think you have another one there. Oh, you're on mute.
Apologies. How do you, more of a broad question, but how do you become a monopoly in this? It seems like something where, you might be able to get some sales, et cetera, but how do you take over?
Yeah.
We're not going to have time for that last question, but potentially something you can think about and bring forward into the future. But thank you, Unbarred Fitness. You can now return to your breakout room. Our second team is Mech Monkey Solutions. First, we'll watch their pitch video, and then we'll have the Q&A.
I'm sure we all faced a time when our engine light was blinking that immediately transferred into anxiety and uncertainty. As we all know, we are in the golden age of tech innovation, but getting our vehicle serviced is not as convenient as ordering lunch on Skip the Dishes. At Mech Monkey, our goal is to make your vehicle maintenance convenient. The current problem is finding an auto repair shop with high customer satisfaction, competitive pricing, and availability. We currently depend on word of mouth or online research to find the right garage or dealership. One must either call or spend 5 minutes to fill out an online form and wait for someone to call and confirm the appointment. But don't worry, at Mech Monkey, we have built this customer-centric mobile application to make your next vehicle maintenance as convenient as possible. With the help of our mobile application, customers can book their services in a few clicks. We show our customers a list of dealerships and garages with high customer satisfaction, competitive pricing, and available appointment times, and will help our customers make informed decisions and override any preconceived notions they might have. We have in-app tracking and communication feature, so no need for follow-up calls anymore. Once the service is completed, our app will take the payment and provide customers with the invoice. MechMonkey mobile app is available in both Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Our total available market in North America is $186 billion. After filtering the scheduled maintenance, our serviceable available market is $130 billion. And our current target market is Atlantic Canada, which is valued at $507 million. Our ideal customer would be a regular individual who is busy with their day-to-day life. We have spoken to about 134 customers and gained 98 pre-sales from them. To acquire our early customers, we are talking to the locally established tech companies to provide their employees with a special discount. Our current revenue model is 8% commission per service, charged from the dealership and garage. But this is our preliminary revenue model for the next 4 months. Once we have more customer data, we will revise our revenue model and revenue streams. With MechMonkey version 1.0, we have successfully executed a pilot project with renowned Hickman Automotive Group, which owns 16 dealerships in the province. The pilot project is expected to start in the last week of March, and it's going to be at one of the dealerships located at 85 Kenmont Road. Our current motivation is to ensure that our supporter and partner Hickman Automotive Group benefits from our platform, and thus ensuring our future expansion with other automotive groups in Canada. I'm Bharat Sundar, founder and CEO. I'm doing my final year undergraduate in business administration. I take care of the business planning and financial operations at MechMonkey, and I'm strongly motivated to go full-time after my graduation. Our intern, Mr. Hasanbhai Ahono, is an MBA student at MUN, and he has 7+ years of entrepreneurial experience. He is our potential full-time employee after graduation. And our advisor, Mr. Manoj Kandaveli, has 9+ years of experience in finance, planning, and executing business strategies for international organizations. And I have 2 full-time developers working from India. We are a team of motivated individuals with diverse backgrounds. We have been supported by MCE, Mitax, and Genesis. And this month, we have successfully entered the Genesis Enterprise Program and will be receiving the micro fund of $20,000. Along with that, we'll leverage up the Mel Woodward Cup prize money up to $140,000 with NRC, Provincial Diet, and Mitax funding to help us with the marketing costs and hire our tech team here in St. John's. We started MechMonkey in 2020. Since then, we pivoted according to market need, developed our MVP, onboarded Hickman Group, and gained 98 pre-sales. Now, our ultimate goal is to run a successful pilot project with Hickman dealership and expand in and beyond Newfoundland. From next time, we want you all to have a hassle-free vehicle maintenance. Book your services today on MechMonkey mobile app and get 20% off. Thank you all for providing us with this opportunity.
All right. Thanks. Great presentation. Really informative. Very impressive app, by the way. I'll get started. Can you just explain a little bit more about the revenue model and specifically from the user standpoint? Is there actually a charge for me, the consumer, to actually use the product?
So it's a free application for the customers. Just like Uber, Skip the Dishes. Where the customer will go book their vehicle service. It's just a matter of we are making it more convenient for the customers than calling the dealership or filling out an online form. It's 100% free application for the consumers.
Okay, perfect. Deirdre?
So you specifically talk about in your video at the very end there, you mentioned sort of hassle-free to the customer. So I'm trying to get my head around, because I know, I think it's great you have this partnership with Hickman's. That's awesome. But let's say my car's older. I want to go to the mom and pop garage. Like, to me, the value in this is having everyone on board, right? So how do you get these smaller garages that, would have customers who are going to want to continue with being able to call, hey, Joe, I want to book my appointment. How do you get them to get on board? Because now they have 2 booking systems, right? So I want it to work. I'm just trying to understand that.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So when I spoke to the mechanics and when I did a market research on garages, I figured that most of them still use pen and paper for their appointment management system. They don't have a specific management, POS or anything like to even like put in the customer information or anything. They're still using pen and paper. So our MakeMonkey dashboard will have a feature. It will have a calendar system feature where it'll take in not only the MakeMonkey appointments, but garages are able to put in their own appointments and make a schedule for them. So I think that's where they're going to benefit from MakeMonkey.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Gina, Leanne, and Jared.
Hey, yeah, great presentation. So I've got some questions around the revenue model. So I've got 3 parts to my question, 2 really quick ones and then a middle one. First off, when you say 8%, is that 8% of the total cost of the service? So if the service was $100, you'd get $8?
That's exactly right. So that's our preliminary revenue model we have for the pilot project. But after 4 months, with the customer data, with the dealership data we'll receive, we'll revise our revenue model and revenue streams and make it workable for MakeMonkey as well as the auto repair shops.
So if I follow this through right, if there's about 700,000 vehicles in Atlantic Canada and 10% use your app, and they have an average spend of $1,000 a year, you at 8% you would be looking at about $6 million in annual revenue to start. Is that how you're looking at it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last question is 8% reasonable?
No, actually, when I spoke to the team at Hickman Automotive, they explained that, for example, oil change and tire change, it's a less margin job. So 8% of oil change and tire change is actually more. But when it comes to brakes and other services, 8% is actually very reasonable. So we are going to work out on that. Like, for example, in future, we could have a fixed monthly fee for the number of repairs they'll get. For now, we just don't want to make it mandatory for a dealership or garage to pay us without getting any services through MakeMonkey. So that's why we are having a commission-based revenue system for the first 4 months. And once we have more services, we'll revise it. Did that answer your question?
Bharath, my question is around, are you going after the used car market or the new car market or both? And then my next question would be, who are you creating loyalty with? Is it the garages that service, or you're hoping your customers, the volume is going to come through the customers, or are you going through the garage to really market the service?
Sure. Yeah. The answer for your first question, we're going after both the new vehicle owners as well as the old vehicle owners, because so even new vehicle owners, if they want to book a service, they have to like go through the same method. Like they either have to call or fill out the online form. And once the vehicle is in for service, they're not able to track their service, and they're not able to save their receipts as a soft copy in the mobile system. So they are also going through the struggles. So we want to help both of them. For example, in future, if dealerships wants to give us their customers and make them use our platform, and then our revenue model will differ, and it'll go very less, and we're just helping their customers to use our platform. And can you please repeat your second question? Sorry.
And then, how are you creating the loyalty, the repeat customers? Because, for new cars, they're under warranty. So the garage is paying you, correct? And then, for the used cars, customers, I think what you're creating, what it seems to be, is more of an overall experience in service and maintenance around car service.
Yeah, for sure. So the way we are going to create the loyalty from our customers is we have different features in the app, just like, for example, you change your rotors today and you get some issues after a year. You don't have your receipt saved in your system, or like you don't remember that, you changed your rotors before a year. So app will come back and say, hey, you changed your rotors a year before, you still got 1 more year warranty. Would you like to check it? So in that way, customers are well informed before paying for the service, before making a service appointment. So it makes it so customers really like this model, and they want to use our app as soon as it comes live.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great presentation. My question is who do you fear the most in terms of competition? You know, marketplaces are very cutthroat. Who do you fear?
So right now we do not have a competition in Atlantic Canada, but our outside competition is Vehicle Mind, a company based in Quebec. They are working with an OBD tool, which will give the error codes to the phone, and then they're connecting the customers with the local independent mechanics and the garages. But ours is a different system where it's an open marketplace. Any customer they don't need any OBD tool to use our platform. Any customer could come in and they could book a service through us.
Nice, great answer. Thank you.
Thanks.
Gina, I think you had another question.
Yeah, I'm just I'm wondering about your personal passion around this and what brought you to it, and specifically, did you have to overcome any of your own personal biases in terms of what you thought when you started and where you are now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually, so how it started was I bought my first car in 2019, and I couldn't find the right auto repair shop. Few were expensive, few were affordable, but the customer reviews wasn't good. So I started doing my own repairs, and one day my colleague approached me asking if I could do his oil change. And I went to his place, did his oil change, and I thought, why not, take it as a business model and scale it. So I started doing oil changes.
Bharath,
and
sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off in your answer, but thank you very much, and you can please return to your breakout room now. So our third team is CoreSphere. First, we'll watch their pitch video, and then the team members will answer questions from the judges.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sazid Hassan, co-founder and CEO of CoreSphere. Now, it's funny to us that every time we go out and talk to potential customers, they voice the exact same problems that I face myself at Michelin on a daily basis. Equipment downtime is unpredictable, and when these machines do go down, there is a huge difficulty in remote diagnosis of this, and huge difficulty in collaboration between technicians and engineers to be able to plan work and execute them. Ultimately, there is no historical record of what is happening as well. These operations can cost companies hundreds and thousands to millions of dollars. And whenever there is a equipment failure, engineers would have to manually go through every line of data, export things manually in an Excel format, and parse through them to be able to figure out any trends. Ultimately, our current existing clients or potential customers do not have the existing infrastructure that they need to be able to support predictive maintenance or the industry IIoT infrastructure. Ultimately, the market size itself tells you how big of an issue this is, with an astounding numbers in both the maintenance, overhaul, repair, and in IT technology sector. Of course, our target market is in the marine sector. Given how we are strategically located in Atlantic Canada, this gives us the perfect opportunity to explore the market here and then to be able to scale from this point. Ron Sperl from Suncor himself mentioned that they lose about $4.5 million a day when there's an unexpected failure, and Joel Hickey's for a small fisheries company even lose $100,000 a day when there's a critical operation stoppage. Now, why us and what do we do differently? We integrate with existing ERP systems, document control, and distributed IoT systems to pull all relevant data to give engineers and technicians a more holistic view with a simple scan of a QR tag. Our communication pipeline is built securely so that they're able to change and track all pull requests, all changes to their machines, and log them securely and safely within the asset's maintenance log. Ultimately, we measure and track every change that's done to an asset on a very component level and flag out any issues that may occur during the maintenance protocols. Predictive maintenance is obviously our biggest target. Our platform is built to help teams move into Industry 4.0 with our dynamic data mapping, and our machine learning models can help clean the existing data sets so nothing they have is, of course, redundant. Ultimately, we want to aid engineers and technicians help in root cause analysis of failures and flag potential issues even before they can potentially occur. Of course, we have competitors in the market such as Uptake, Upkeep, IBM Maximo, but our biggest advantage in the market is that we do not require a complete overhaul of your system. We integrate on top of existing solutions. Our platform provides a secure collaboration pipeline that no other companies are doing right now, and our dynamic data modeling is done on a very ground level where we do the heavy lifting and engineers and technicians can keep working like they always done. Customer discovery phases was our biggest pivot point for us, where we've talked to over 50 to 70 different engineers and technicians across multiple companies, and they really helped us shape the V1 of our software, where we launched with our early adopter, Leeway Marine, last month, and then we just onboarded a government body in the defense sector and a global supply chain leader that we hope to launch for very soon as well. Ultimately, our go-to-market strategy again is through phase one, scaling in the marine sector, where we are charging our early adopters, all three of them, $1,000 per month for a vessel, and then we hope to plan to take these integrations that we have built and scale horizontally through other sectors such as remote energy, mining, and manufacturing. Of course, none of these would have been possible without the team that we currently have and an amazing advisory board. We do have 5 other members that are mostly software engineers and product development leads. Ultimately, our ask at the end of the day is industry connections and funding. We hope to be able to take this and provide value to our customers. Therefore, we need funding where we are partnered with IRAP and MyTax to be able to leverage that as well. With that, I conclude my presentation, and thank you so much for your time.
All right, great presentation, and impressive with the amount of traction you've been able to obtain already. My first question, kind of 2 parts. I think first of all, for the benefit of the audience, you should probably define what an ERP is, just so everybody understands. And then on top of that, like, how many of these are there, and therefore how many will you actually need to integrate with to really get this off the ground?
Absolutely. An ERP system essentially is an enterprise resource planning system. This is where all companies keep their assets, all their information for maintenance, overhaul, inventory, business needs, etc. And the largest ones in the market right now are SAP, Oracle NetSuite, IFS. So as soon as we have these integrations on board, we are well on to the market. They have thousands of clients. Even Helm Connect right now has over 3,000 vessels they're connected with.
So just a quick follow-up with regards to that. Like, don't some of these ERP systems have sort of alarm settings within itself to give warnings about certain, equipments and when they go out of different ranges?
Right. So current ERP systems have manual control for maintenance flags. So whenever a mission goes down, maybe your radar or maybe your PLC, so it's a programmable logic controller, is set up so that it sends out signals, pagers. But no, ERP systems, when I was in Michelin, we used Oracle NetSuite, we talked to Valet, uses SAP. None of these systems actually set out any flags. Ultimately, all data is stored as regular text messages. So they are an enhanced version of how you do it on pen and paper, but no different in terms of structured data and how they need to consume it to move into Industry 4.0.
I'll just add one more thing there. It's kind of like writing a Facebook post versus writing a Facebook post with a hashtag. Like, that is the difference between when you're posting something on ERP right now and what you're going to be doing with our system in the ERP.
Okay, helpful. Deirdre?
So you're integrating this over an already existing system. So I imagine all kinds of risk there. So I'd like to understand that a little bit better and how your pricing takes that into account, because it didn't appear that way to me.
Absolutely.
It didn't appear to take that into account.
Right. So the first thing that we do is we integrate with your ERP systems, as in, and this is the biggest advantage for our clients because they do not have they do not have to be worried about losing any of their data. So whatever they have on their ERP system, document control, and your integrated distributed control system, so that would be your IoT sensors data, all of them are living in their own separate regions right now. So they're not really talking to each other, not connected. Our system actually pulls all of that into one place. You can imagine Slack that is integrated with Google, GitHub, etc. So our model is actually a lot safer when it comes to integrations because we pull the data in one place. Ultimately, how we are pricing our model is because we hope that our system is going to make the other maintenance solutions a little redundant because they're not really capturing data at a ground level. Technicians are having a very hard time making or conveying information back to engineering teams who are actually having to design, make those changes, and then collaborate back to the technician teams who are having to execute those work and work orders. Currently, that is all done in terms of paper, and then again, in terms of like messages over phones, team calls, etc. The companies that we're dealing with already lose $100,000 with the existing platforms they have. They lose about $100,000 on the vessels where we're dealing with 24 meters in size. When they go in larger sizes, they lose about millions of dollars in one single breakdown, just one. That is what they're losing. Engineering teams are spending 8-9 hours a day trying to parse through this data manually and export. They all have the exact same issues in terms of like collaborating work and then ultimately looking at the historical information of that work. So ultimately, they're not really getting any value of the current systems. So whenever we're talking to our existing clients and potential customers, they're exactly voicing the same problems and they want to be able to move to a system that can provide them that value, which is why our pricing model has worked so far. And we're a huge fan of Y Combinator, so we're trying to push the price as far as we can before coming in terms with all types of customers.
All right, Gina, Jared, Leanne.
I'm just going to test first. Is this working, Brett? I just switched systems. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, so I know a little bit about this space, and I'm wondering when I looked at your market size and your potential, and you noted hundreds of ships in Canada, and in the US, the market's pretty big. A lot of those ships are rusty old buckets. They've got decades old equipment. So I'm wondering how you have thought through that, and they don't have a whole lot of data associated with it. So how does that impact your market assessment?
Right. So the first biggest thing we do is we do two things. One is structuring data for IoT systems. The first version of our system is essentially a small ERP because we do work orders, we do requisitions, we allow you to hierarchically set up all this information. The biggest value prop we are proposing to our existing clients on $1,000 vessels. So existing clients would be Leeway Marine. We just got on the conversation with the Royal Canadian Navy today, so we can take their name. So they're the other client that we have. And the global supply chain leader, they're massive. They have thousands of vessels. Not thousands, sorry, hundreds. Thousands would be too much. Across the globe, and they all have different ranges of vessels. So not all their vessels are the very high tier ones that are very integrated with the IoT system. So for the smaller tier ones, we wouldn't be able to make that upsale of Industry 4.0 infrastructure, where you bring digital twins, where you bring predictive maintenance into the play. But when it comes to the smaller vessel size, they still get the ability to do remote maintenance. Remote maintenance is the biggest issue for our clients right now, where engineers and technicians, when they're thousands of kilometers offshore, are not able to plan work, plan dry docks effectively and capture the data back in the system. So they can still get the value out of it. Maybe the pricing won't be as high, obviously, but that's something we're definitely playing around with in the market to ensure that we can.
If I can add one more line there, if you think about it though, like in our revenue model, we're taking that into account. We have two types of revenue model there. One is for the advanced ships or the ships which are already digitalized. If you think about it, like that is less cost for us or overhead for us. But our main model is to make sure that the ships which are not automated, which are still manual, we get the most data out of it. So our software kind of sophisticates that, takes that into account, and that's what we're trying to do. Like we want to make sure, even if a ship is old, we're still taking the best data out of it, and we're automating it for the future.
We also help, just to add a note, we also help them map the data. So if they have drawings, any technical documentation, we help them map them into their system, into our system before they get onboarded.
The question I have is when you think about companies leveraging CoreSphere, what is the duration to onboard? Like if you're dealing with legacy, you're going to spend a lot of time, whether it's drawings, whether it's data models, et cetera. So how do you build into your model the time it takes to onboard? And then what is the payback that these companies would see by leveraging CoreSphere?
So, Sajid, if I can take that one. If you think about it, right now, this is why we're targeting IFS and SAP. Once we build the integration for SAP, any other clients who we use as SAP, we don't have to go through the same installation process. So it makes it faster. So right now, as one of our business model, we're only going for ERP systems, which is being used by other marine companies, which we want to target. Once we integrate, then all the information gets available. Then you get exactly the same service as you'd be getting for us integrated with any other system. Like then it doesn't make a difference anymore.
Once an integration is built, that process is dynamic. So we do dynamic mapping under the hood, which makes our process streamlined. It takes about 15 days to a month, depending on the scale of your company. But that is about the timeline that we are dealing with when we're onboarding or trialing our customers. Once the trial is over, we hope to secure them as full-time customers.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, CoreSphere. You can now return to your breakout room. And then our fourth finalist is Inverte. Let's watch their video, and then the judges can begin the Q&A.
Hi, I'm Johan, founder and CEO of Inverte. We at Inverte, we are rethinking portioning. The problem we're addressing is the $600 billion that are currently being incinerated in the food service industry. This waste is primarily attributed to the inefficiencies found in restaurants' value chain, food waste. is not only a financial problem, it is a social and environmental one. Our solution to this problem is real-time portion control. And we create adaptable weighing scale technologies that prevent underserving and overserving from happening in the first place. Our technology communicates with employees in real time to guarantee that simply perfect portions are assembled. This is how our technology fits in an actual refrigerated prep station. Here we minimize the loss because we prevent overserving, squandering, and wrong orders from being managed. And we also save labor time because we are able to help our clients skip pre-portioning, which is a labor-intensive practice. We also begin automating the training of employees in order to guide them on which ingredient to grab next and with which portions. This is how our solution currently fits in the competitive landscape. Unlike our competitors, we are a proactive food waste reduction company, and we use hardware and software technology to measure the input in real time. We compete in the smart kitchenware market, which is considerably growing. Our customer segment, it is primarily composed of North American fast service restaurants, and right now it is the perfect time to act because of the ongoing labor issues and rising food costs that is threatening the finances of restaurants. We're currently selling our solution as a product as a service, meaning that we are renting out the hardware and we give access to the AI training and the analytics for a monthly fee starting at $60. We already have early interest from local restaurants here in town, and we have beta testers who are eager to know the return of investment of our product. This is our go-to-market strategy, and we're primarily calling, dining, and showing our solutions to restaurants. As we begin to scale, we look into digital marketing and taking pre-orders from the whole Atlantic Canadian. This is the great team of innovators who will make this solution a reality. We have a passionate computer scientist who wants to contribute to food security with technology. We have a military-grade hardware engineer collaborating with a key sales leader and a restaurant owner. We're also a part of the Founder Institute, which is the world's premier startup accelerator. We have a great team of advisors and organizations supporting us throughout the world, and we look forward to bringing this invention as an innovation to the market. We use the funds of the Mel Woodward Cup to acquire governmental funding for us to begin hiring and acquiring the certification for our product. We look forward to establishing another unicorn here in the province. This has been Inverte. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Very cool product, great presentation. So I'll dive in right away. The biggest question that I have is around your hardware, and specifically how much that's going to cost for each of these scales, and then how that plays into your actual $60 monthly fee. Just talk about that in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, of course, I'll take that question. First of all, glad to be here. It's quite an honor. And in terms of the actual question, primarily, it costs us around $50 to assemble one unit. So that means if pretty much the product will pay in 1 month if we start charging $60. And that primarily is calculated through our previous analysis of the number of hours we can help save our clients.
So $50 per scale, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So in a situation like, let's say a Subway or a pita pit,
right,
something like that, where you've got one scale for lettuce, one scale for tomatoes, like wouldn't you need more than one scale for each restaurant?
Yeah, that is exactly correct. And that comes into our long-term vision for the company. Right now, we are using the MVP and tracking the ingredient at the modular level. However, as we begin to scale, we look at tracking the ingredients of the whole refrigerated workstation.
Okay. So just to be clear, $50 per scale.
Per scale, per individual scale, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Jared, I'll pass to you. Muted again.
Goodness sake. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. What resistance will new users have to like trying your product, new restaurants, et cetera, to actually integrating this, and how are you going to overcome that?
So I believe the main part of the resistance will be in the utilization of the technology itself and putting it into the refrigerated prep tables and understanding the traffic light system. We'd want to create an onboarding team in the future, but at this point, what we want to do is work with each restaurant that we get these beta tests and subsequent customers with to teach them directly how to use the system. And in the future, we'd be looking at having an onboarding team, possibly remote. And on top of that, we could have manuals and other print materials that could be sent via email.
Good, thank you.
Dina?
Yeah, great product. And I've spent a lot of years working in kitchens and I can see it really working. I'm just wondering about the maintenance side of it. Well, so when you place a product, how often do you think you'll have to send somebody in to repair it? Or I'm also wondering about the power source in there for the lighting. Can you just talk to that a bit?
Sure, I'll take the first part, or the second part, which is the power system. That is something we're going to be considering as we begin to scale. Right now, we have a simple battery system that lasts for 2 hours. In terms of actually manufacturing the units for the long run, we're going to be moving into on-demand 3D printing. And in terms of the actual maintenance, that is something that will be replaced every 6 months, because that is the lifetime value we expect. Because we also have, or the priority, it is to seal the electronics so that no water can actually damage the product itself.
So I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but never in a restaurant kitchen. So my question is around competition. What do most restaurants do now to monitor their portion control? Yeah, if you could, I think you understand where I'm coming. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll kind of start off, and then I think Johan will also kind of chime in. But a majority of restaurants use very simple tools to measure out their portions. So things like soup spoons, ladles, sometimes just by eye as well, and a lot of basic digital scales, flat scales on tables. That's what we've seen in our interviews with various restaurants. We haven't seen anyone using the same system that we use, and we haven't seen anyone using the particular, using our system with our value proposition. It's mostly just ladles, kind of just simple devices and digitized scale.
But doesn't that work? I mean, a ladle, like, you're taking the soup in the ladle and it's going in it's like now there's another step, right? You got to put it on the scale. So.
Yeah. Yep. So, Johan, yeah.
So yeah, what I primarily want to say here, it comes down to the customer segment, the beachhead market that we are focusing on. And this is the fast service space. So here, whenever they have the rush hours, the variance in portioning becomes significant. It's up to 20%. So if you start varying, and also the other big problem which the industry it is known for, it is its high turnover rate. So new employees come in, new employees go, all employees go out. And that is certainly a problem for managers because they need to spend the time on teaching them. And that is where our solution will not become obsolete. The solution will pretty much guide and train the new employees as they come.
And if I may add to that, especially in the beginning with our beachhead markets, we want to focus on the particular items that can fit within these refrigerated food tables. So one great place is cheese, another great place is pre-portioned meats, so meats that have been chopped up. And we also want to focus on, the pre-portioning stage. So before, at the front of the house and also kind of in the back of the house when you're doing the pre-portioning, because we've seen that what a lot of restaurants will do is they'll actually just take a portion, bag it, weigh it. If it's off, take it back off, take the portion out or put more in, then reweigh it. And sometimes they got to do it a third time, especially if, as Johan was saying, it's a new employee. And then they'll, weigh it, get within the right weight range, and then they'll actually move to the next step. And they have to do this step, sometimes hundreds of times. So with us, we want to be focusing on, initially a lot of cheese, a lot of meats, things that could be useful in this area in the front of house. And then in the back of house, if we're doing pre-portioning, actually trying to just make it so that, as you take out a portion from the device, it is automatically using the traffic light system to tell you if you're on portion.
Leanne, you want to go ahead?
One question I have is, how long does it take to build a unit? Because you have the product and you have the integrated technology. So from start to finish.
Right, and that is approximately 12 hours because the 3D printing job, it is around 3 hours. We have our hardware engineer has done a very good job at actually designing the solution so that we are able to print in one go. Then in terms of assembling, it is quite straightforward. The other materials that, obviously like the main delay will be actually ordering the PCBs in which are used to assemble the units. So once we have the materials, we can assemble them in 12 hours.
And what kind of quality is done before the units go out to the restaurants? Like how do you test that the product is working as expected and there's no defects?
Right. So primarily we are testing in the laboratory by tracking how efficient is the traffic light system. So for example, we put some cheese in the container, and as we begin to take out some portions, that's how we will know our system is actually giving the expected results. And we also have a companion app, which can be used to set up the right portion.
And we will also, be providing various warranties and making sure that each unit is tested in general in our facility. If we, get the funds, get the facility, testing in the facility before we move it out to the real world in the first place.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, I think you had a restaurant owner as one of your co-founders or something along those lines. Are they going to be using it in theirs, or like why don't you guys have a pilot like when is that going to happen?
So I'm my family owns a restaurant, so we're the restaurateurs, and yes, we'll be using this in a restaurant, and we'll be making sure to get this within the next 2 weeks. Effectively, we're pretty much waiting for school to kind of calm down, and we'll be sending these things out to my family's restaurant as well. Yeah.
All right, great.
Thanks.
We'll wrap it up there. Thank you, Inverte.
Thank
Please
you.
return to your breakout room. Our final team is Pragmaclin Research. And first we'll watch the pitch video, and then the team members will answer the questions from the judges.
We decided to start Pragmaclin because we wanted to be able to help patients see help faster than Gord had to experience and hopefully catch disease progression earlier on. I took a Bachelor of Science of Biology at St. Francis Xavier University, and I actually worked side by side with a Parkinson's patient for a year, and he was pretty far advanced, and it was kind of heartbreaking to see, so I wanted to be able to do something to help others that were suffering with the same condition. I met Gordon while doing my research, and he came to me with a brilliant idea to be able to help Parkinson's patients, and then our idea actually progressed into a full software which we've developed called PRIMS. It's a Parkinson's Remote Interactive Monitoring System. So in office, a clinician will actually run through an assessment using motor and non-motor data. So the way that the software works is the depth cameras are attached to the computer. The Parkinson's patient just stands in front of the camera, nice and easy, and does the tasks that the computer asks it to. They don't need to attach any sensors to the body, which makes it really easy for fine motor tasks that Parkinson patients typically struggle with. At the end of all the tests, the software will actually rate the patient in real-time data and give them a score of where they sit on a Parkinson's scale from 0 to 4. This is able to give clinicians more data so that they can monitor patients over more time and also possibly adjust their medications if needed. Ever since I started taking a science degree, I've been really invested in being able to help improve people's lives, and Gord has become family, so I want to have that same connection with so many other patients. Imagine being told that there's a 4.5-year wait time to see a neurologist for a condition that's going to affect your daily living. Well, this happened to a patient in Ontario in 2017. Here at home in Newfoundland, we have only 9 neurologists who treat 10,000 people with neurodiseases, 1,500 of which have Parkinson's disease. Workloads are high and cases are increasing, and neurologists use subjective methods to assess patients. Up to 25% of those diagnoses are wrong. Worldwide, from 1990 to 2015, the number of people living with Parkinson's has more than doubled to reach 6.3 million. By 2040, those cases are expected to reach 12.9 million. Rising cases also means a rising economic burden. In 2017, the economic burden on the healthcare system in the US has ballooned to $52 billion. My team and I are fully engaged in finding unique solutions to change the realities we are facing. We consist of 2 co-founders, myself, a PhD student, and Gord, a Parkinson's patient. We work very closely with a scientific advisor, medical advisor, clinical trial advisor, business advisor, and a software consultant. PRIMS is highly innovative by using existing hardware in a unique way and offering a low-cost package. We are great competitors for the systems which do not cover all motor and non-motor symptoms of PD. Programs will be sold through the business-to-business channel to public and private hospitals, private clinics, and research and clinical trial organizations. Our initial target market will be hospitals in Canada, US, the UK, and Europe. A total of 2.5 million people in the target market have Parkinson's disease. 80 customer survey responses have been received from healthcare workers and Parkinson's patients. 98% of the respondents would find remote patient monitoring to be somewhat to extremely valuable, and 90% said that they would adopt it if it was offered to them. PragmaClin has raised $188,000 in development funding from private and public sources. The MVP has been developed, and we are currently performing a pilot usability testing. There are also other diseases we can tackle in the future, such as MS, PSP, and HD. Therefore, the technology is highly scalable. We can also reduce equipment costs, develop technology add-ons, and modify the software to improve functionality and usability. This award will be used to leverage additional funding for certification in international markets, improving the software, advancing our overall product design, market development, and professional technical advice. Welcome to PragmaClin, where the future of care starts at home.
Awesome. First of all, great presentation, great story. You folks seem like a great team, so well done. My question right away is kind of just around like the provider segment and specifically the workflow side of things. Have you thought about like maybe reimbursement pathways for the provider themselves? Mainly, I ask because provider adoption is difficult with a lot of these additional software. So curious if that's a route that you've pursued.
Yeah, we have looked into the reimbursement side of things. Because we're in Canada, we don't have to go through the insurance companies. If we were to enter the US market, that would be the case. But in the Canadian market, we are just working alongside the clinics privately owned who would be able to do reimbursement costs, and also the hospitals as well, who would just run through the government funding.
Okay. Jared?
Yeah, in your application, it said you guys were going to use like 2,500 for developing this whole website. Like, who writes the code for you guys, and like, how do you, like, what's your budget for that?
Yeah, great question.
What is it going to take to actually get this done?
Yeah, so we've actually been working alongside CompuSalt, which is a software engineer company in Mount Pearl. So they have actually designed and coded the entire software. Part of the contract that we have with them is that we own the intellectual property. So we actually have all the coding ourselves now for the minimum viable product that we have ready. Moving forward, the first thing that we plan to do with the money that we raise is to actually use it to leverage more funding in order to hire a software engineer to actually have on our team with us, beside us. So we do have a business advisor, and we do work alongside CompuSalt at the moment, but we are also hoping to have an individual join our team to be able to update and innovate as we move forward to change the coding and upgrade the system.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Leanne, Gina, and then Deirdre.
Great presentation. One of the things I was thinking about is you're looking at 3 different markets, US, Europe, and Canada, right? Probably 4 markets. How do you get over the regulatory issues through each of those countries?
Yeah.
And is there one approach that has worked better than the other? Like, I know you're located in Canada, so Canada versus the US, like entering the US, I think there'd be a lot of regulatory issues that you need to address before going to market. So what is your approach there?
Definitely. So we have met with a few advisors and gotten some information on how we're going to move forward. So for the Canadian market, we actually don't have to have a medical device license because we don't diagnose, mitigate any disease. We're just a monitoring system. So we are able to avoid that by just having a medical device establishment license to be able to manufacture the product in Canada. As we move into the other markets, that's something that we're definitely going to have to look into more and have more communication through what their systems are leveraged as. But at the moment, through the Canadian market, we don't have to go through the device license, which is a super helpful moving forward. Makes it a little bit easier to start off. And we're hoping that by then getting traction in Canada, that will help us to get the licenses that we do need to move into the other countries.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bronwyn, you and Gord are a very interesting entrepreneurial partnership. I'm wondering what works, or maybe to look at both sides. What are the pros and cons of having this type of partnership? You both come from very different angles on the business.
Definitely. Great question. Ever since I've met Gord, we've been definitely working alongside each other in a really great relationship that we have. We work very closely with each other every day, but I think that having the different views and everything have definitely helped us to get farther for where we were looking to go. Gord has a lot of entrepreneurial experience and business background, and I'm a very science-based person, but also because of my age, I'm also a very technical person as well. So I think that's helped with, Gord seeing it from the business side and me seeing it from, well, what about the science side of everything, and trying to work through the technology factors that we do have to take into account. So I think that our relationship has been really great in that way. Obviously, whenever we have relationships that are so different in age and everything else, we definitely have some discussions that maybe we don't agree upon, but at the same time, we use those to push forward in such a better light, to be able to see each other's opinions as they are. And it's been wonderful having, also Gord, if you're trying to talk, you're on mute, but we also have a great partnership that way, because having a patient partner as a part of the project has totally made me see like a different side of everything. And it's also helped us to gather. We're doing a usability study currently that we have funded by the NRC. So it's just a small study to see how the patients are finding using the software. And I think that's been super helpful having Gord on board for that side of things, because he's able to reach out and be like, I find that it works for me, so I think that you should try it. And if I were coming to them, they'd be like, well, you don't have the disease, you don't know. But that's just it, is Gord does have the disease and he does know. So I think that is definitely a winning factor for us in that sense.
And my experiences are a great help to Bronwyn, because she can always lean on me. Now she's the president, so she pulls all the strings, and she's a very busy girl. So I work hard to help her out as much as I can and get the tasks done for her that she assigns to me.
Gord, I have a question for you. It's a pleasure to meet you. My grandfather had Parkinson's, and he would not have been able to do the actions that I saw demonstrated in the video. So I'm wondering, I know you may not want to speak to the technical side so much, but I am interested in your opinion on how this software is going to work for people whose disease is further along. Now, my grandfather has been passed away for a very long time, and I'm sure there's been lots of inroads in this disease. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear a little bit more about that.
Well, we've set the system up so that it can monitor any severity from almost normal to extreme. And anybody that's wheelchair bound or unable to perform an action can cancel out of that and just skip through that. And, some people have speech problems, so they'll have difficulty with managing their speech. Other people will have motor control problems, tremor, and they have difficulty typing. So we've designed the whole system around trying to be as user-friendly as possible. And of course, when we get our software engineer on board, he or she will be able to help us modify the software to make it even better.
And I was just going to say, to add to that, is there's also the option to, I don't know if you could see from the screenshots, but at the beginning, a patient does have the option to say whether they're performing the test by themselves or with the help of a caregiver, or if the caregiver is answering for them. So there is the option that if a Parkinson's patient does require a caregiver in order to perform things, that they can state that at the beginning.
Okay, great. I have one more question if that's okay. Yeah. So the other question is the team seems really strong. I mean, this team and then the others you have around you, but there does seem to be a hole there for me with marketing the product and getting in front of those who would purchase this. Could you speak to that?
I can speak to that if you'd like. I think that's definitely something that we also are going to have to leverage as well. So not only bringing on a software engineer, but also to bring on somebody to look at the marketing side of things. Now, mind you, the marketing is going to be very different than your typical product where you just go out and you advertise on social media and things like that, because that's not going to work for us. But I think that our first in the door that's really helped us is having an actual neurologist on the team, because she's been able to speak to how well the software works and what she thinks of the software. And then in turn, that shows her colleagues that this is something that we could definitely be using. So I think that's definitely helped us to get the first foot in the door that we need. And then in terms of that moving forward.
I'm going to have to cut you off there, Bronwyn.
That's okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Pragma
Thank you.
Please return to your breakout room now. And that concludes the pitches. Weren't our 5 finalists pretty impressive? Our judges are now going to leave us to deliberate. They'll have 30 minutes to make their decision. And for the viewers, you now have 2 options, which you will see if you look at the left-hand side of your screen. And if you click on Expo, you'll find virtual booths with some of our impressive student entrepreneurs. And then the other option is to enter the networking area, where you can use the video chat to connect with others. And again, simply use the left-hand navigation to move between the different areas. And then the winners will be announced at 7:30. So be sure to come back here in the main stage to discover who will be the winner of the 6th annual Mel Woodward Cup. So keep an eye to the chat for a reminder to come back to the main stage and enjoy the break.
Second. You're in there now anyway. Okay. Hello, everyone that can hear us there. We had a weird crash on our side, so I'm going to get you into your breakout groups now in a second. I think you can hear me now.
John, you're on the live stream.
All right, welcome back, everyone. The Mel Woodward Cup is an important step in the journey of the winning teams, but its impact is significant beyond those teams that win the big prizes. Every single applicant, yes, all 43 teams, gets feedback from our expert judges on their startups. This is unique among startup competitions, and we do it in hopes that these teams will use the feedback to improve and come back in future years. In fact, in the video you're about to see that features some past winners and participants in the Mel Woodward Cup, you might just see some familiar faces. The Mel Woodward Cup is a momentum builder, and here's why.
Being involved with the Mel Woodward Cup last year allowed us to learn more about our business because we really had to do a deeper dive into what our company is about, who our target market is, and so much more. It just helped us really and truly understand our company and then gave us more insight on what we can do better as well as where we're going as well.
Being involved in the Mel Woodward Cup helped us introduce ourselves to new connections during the event and throughout the months after. Some of these connections we met during the Cup make up some of our essential mentors now. We have leveraged the funding that we won at the competition to help complete our MVP platform and grow our team.
You know, when you're a first-time founder, you don't know what is essential for your startup to take it to the next level. So when I started working on my Mel Woodward Cup application back in 2021, it forced me to do more customer discoveries. You know, with the help of that, I gained more pre-sales, which brought traction to my idea.
Being involved with the Mel Woodward Cup was an amazing experience. It really helped us propel Odyssey to the next level and really helped us understand our customers, understand our company, and really helped us understand where we need to be and what we need to do to get there.
The biggest piece of advice I can give to future applicants of the Mel Woodward Cup is to fall in love with the problem and not with the solution. Out there are multiple problems, and it is up to us, the creative entrepreneurs, to find proper solutions that will provide the benefits our customers are seeking. And with that being said, we need to focus on the benefits, not just in the features.
Well, for those that intend starting a business or applying for this Mel Woodward Cup, I have 3 words for you: patience, perseverance, and consistency. Yeah, it looks fancy when you're called a startup founder or a startup co-founder, but the odds are against you. You're expected to fail, but if you have these 3 core characteristics, which is patience, perseverance, and consistency, you have a chance against the odds.
I'd encourage any student who has an idea for a business or who would like to try their shot at entrepreneurship to apply for the Mel Woodward Cup. It's a fantastic start competition and can really help you form new connections within the startup ecosystem in Newfoundland and Labrador and beyond.
It was an amazing experience. It really helped us learn a lot, and working with the MCE was such a great experience. They've really helped us push Odyssey to where we needed to be and really helped us understand the company, and everything about the experience was great, and I'd really encourage anybody to do it.
My advice on getting started, honestly, you don't know until you try, and trying is the first step in succeeding. So at least take that first step, try, apply, and you never know what can happen. You can actually surprise yourself. So I'd say take that first step, because that first step is going to lead to another step, and then eventually going to find yourself finishing a whole marathon, and you're going to be really proud of it. So take the first step, apply.
Another great video. The impact of this competition is undeniable. I'm proud to have been there at its very beginning, and I'm happy to be back again this year as your host. I'd now like to invite the chair of the judging panel, Brett Vokey, to share his thoughts on the competition and to announce this year's winners.
Thanks, John. First of all, it was a very tough decision all around. Amazing the pitches that we were able to see today. Amazing the amount of innovation that's coming out of MUN on a yearly basis. It's like the bar gets higher and higher and higher every single year. And us judges, we had a tough time really kind of deciding the winner, the runner-up, and all of that as well. So Before we get into the actual runners-up and the winner, we do have a couple preliminary awards that were awarded during the preliminary round. The judging panel today was not actually deciding these awards. It was the preliminary round judging panel. So the first award that we're going to be announcing is the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for Women and Non-Binary Leadership. And that is for $2,500. Again, all of the applicants were able to win one of these awards. And this year's winner of the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for Women and Non-Binary Leadership is Pragmaclin Research. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel?
Oh, it feels fantastic. I said, like I say, great women raise great women. So thank you to my mom, I guess.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations again. And yeah, great job in the competition today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Our second award, again, another preliminary award, is the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for an early stage idea. This is also $2,500. And again, all of the preliminary teams that had applied were actually eligible for this specific award. And the winner of the Fry Family Foundation Entrepreneurship Award for an early stage idea was Canopy. Congratulations, Canopy. And if you don't mind, just give us a 10 to 20 second pitch on what it is that you folks do.
What we do is try to help people consume cannabis in a safe way through technology.
Awesome. And how does it feel to win this award today?
Great, gives us the motivation to keep working on the project. So it's great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving along to the big awards of the day. So like I mentioned, we had a very difficult discussion with amongst all the judges. You know, we had quite differing opinions actually, which is good because that led us to overall you know, more discussion and a better I think overall outcome from that standpoint. So first of all, thank you to my fellow judges for the healthy discussion that I think we had before. So in advance of announcing the winner, we will announce the runner-up, which is $15,000. And again, we were very impressed by this team specifically, ability to answer questions, ability to understand their target market specifically. So the winner of, or the runner-up of this year's Mel Woodward Cup and winning $15,000 is Mech Monkey. Congratulations, you have been the runner-up for this year's Mel Woodward Cup.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We were very impressed with your presentation, and yeah, just curious, what's your reaction? How do you feel?
I'm very excited, and the money is going to really help us for the future development. And you know, we are looking to hire tech individuals here in Newfoundland going forward. And yeah, we're excited for the launch next week. You know, I invite every people to come to McMonkey mobile app and their service with 20% off using the promo code McMonkey20. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, we look forward to trying it out, and hopefully our audience doesn't actually have to use the app and their car doesn't actually break down or anything.
Yeah, sure.
However, again, if that happens, you've got a great
If that happens, yeah, we got you.
Thank you so much.
Perfect, thanks.
All right, now the moment that everybody has been waiting for. Again, it was a very difficult decision from all of the judges. We were very impressed with all 5 of the finalists, and again, very proud of the future of Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship and overall our province of Newfoundland and Labrador and what the future holds for all of these exciting companies. But without further ado, happy to announce the winner of the 2022 Mel Woodward Cup is Pragmaclin Research.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you so much. This is incredible. Yay. I'm so happy
Congratulations,
right
folks.
now.
You are the winners of the 2022 Mel Woodward Cup. How does it feel?
My heart. This is amazing. Wow. Gord, I'm so excited for us. Yeah, I know. Yay. Virtual hugs.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Brett. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And all of the judges were blown away by, the story, the mission, and everything that you folks are working towards. You both seem like an amazing team, and we know you're going to do amazing things. So continue to make us proud in the future. Congratulations again.
Thank you so
very
much.
Brett. And
Thank
thanks
you,
to
thank
all
you.
the judges and everybody watching.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, folks.
That's awesome. What a dynamic duo. And I wish I had some confetti or something to throw up in the air, but you're just going to have to look at my face for a couple more seconds. But thank you, Brett, and a huge congratulations to all of tonight's winners. This brings my role in tonight's event to a close, and it's been a pleasure to be your MC today. To wrap up, Florian Viome is going to give some closing remarks. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, John, and congratulations to tonight's winners. As you know, this competition aims to accelerate your startup, so we really hope to hear great things from you soon. I'd like to congratulate all 5 finalist teams and the other 38 teams that applied to the Mel Woodward Cup this year. In addition to receiving the most applications ever this year, we also more than doubled the number of women applicants. Last year, teams applying for the Mel Woodward Cup included 12 women. This year, 27 women and 1 non-binary person participated. The number of women engaging with MC has been fairly low at our beginnings, and in 2018, we began to tackle this problem. We looked critically at our communications material, application processes, and program incentives. We engaged with our advisory board, the Women Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, and our students to identify some of the barriers that women face in engaging in entrepreneurship and growing their businesses. We also sought the expertise of researchers like Dr. Cara Arnold at the Faculty of Business Administration, whose work focuses on gender and diversity issues in organization, and Dr. Carlos Pazan, Chair of Entrepreneurship at the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science. Supporters like the governments of Newfoundland and Labrador, the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, and the Fry Family Foundation also helped fund some of our efforts, such as providing virtual childcare during the pandemic and the 2 new awards presented tonight. It's taken 4 years of intentional, focused work, but we are starting to see results. And we are so proud to see the diversity of students participating in the Mel Woodward Cup this year. I believe in the power of diversity in all its forms. And I'm thrilled to see so much progress. And of course, we need to continue to do better, and we will, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because it will make all future Mel Woodward Cup applicant teams and our startup ecosystem overall even better. I'd like to close this event by once again thanking the Woodward family, ACOA, the Fry Family Foundation, KPMG, Altitude Media, Perfect Day, TechNL, Genesis, Gardner Center, Eroka, and Saltwater Backbones, and all faculties and schools at Memorial. A special thank you as well to McInnes Cooper, which is also a sponsor of MC in addition to being an in-kind supporter for this competition. Thank you as well to our MC, John Ennis, our judges, Rodrigo Iniguez for the great videos that you have seen throughout the events, Amy Burridge, Enaya Delgaber, Jason Trask, Ola Bimpe Olukolo, Usman Mohammed, Anamika Jain, Amrinder Singh, and also students at MCV, Susan White in the Faculty of Business Administration, Jackie Locke in the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science, and John Duff at Conferences and Event Services at Signal Hill Campus for the technical support. Finally, I would like to thank all of you for attending this event tonight. To all students here tonight, I hope that what you have seen tonight inspires you to apply for the 2023 Mel Woodward Cup. It has been a very exciting event, and I hope that you enjoy it too. Bonne soirée à tous. Have a great night.